First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that roll well, and a sincere salutation to the Akim pushing his truth and sincerity by Shem Rokak Wadash. I've been seeing a lot, of this rapper Travis Scott and his concert entitled The Astroworld, and what transpired a few days ago. And I decided to do something on it because it's been blasted all over the internet. So I'm gonna read this. It says no way out, a sudden life and death struggle at a Houston concert. It says 8 people died at Travis Scott's Astroworld festival. Hundreds more were injured as investigators sought to determine why and how a surging crowd turned deadly. It says Houston, panic and then desperation spread through the crowd of 50,000, mostly young people, just as the popular hometown rapper they had come to see, Travis Scott, took the stage Friday night. It came like a wave, an unstoppable movement of bodies that could not be held back. Some collapsed, others fought for air. Concert goers lifted up the unconscious bodies of friends and strangers and surfed them over to the top of the crowd, hoping to send them to safety. Others shouted out for help with CPR and pleaded for the concert to stop. It kept going. In the end, 8 people died, ranging in age from 14 to 27. According to city officials, hundreds more were treated for injuries at a field hospital at the concert venue, the NRG Park in Houston, or at local hospitals. Among those treated at a hospital was a 10-year-old child. By Saturday, officials in Houston were at a loss to explain how the concert, part of the 2-day Astroworld Music Festival organized by Live Nation and Mr. Scott, had transformed in an instant from a celebration to a struggle for life. So too were those who had been at the outdoor concert, who described a thrust of the crowd that would not let up as Mr. Scott took the stage around 9 p.m. It was like hell, said Nick Johnson, 17, who still had his concert bracelet on as he spoke on Saturday morning. Everybody was just in the back trying to rush to the front. People were literally grabbing and pinching at my body trying to get up from the ground, said Chris Slade, 23, adding that he lost contact with his friends and he tried to make it out of the crowd. I was fighting for my life. There was no way out. Okay, so basically, the concert turned bad. Okay, this rapper Travis Scott, basically, as he got on stage, the crowd went crazy. Okay, and there's a lot of conflicting reports. People have come forward, but they all agree on one thing, that that it seemed to be like hell. What did this guy say here? It was like hell, said Nick Johnson. Okay, now I wanted to show some of these pictures. Okay, because when you look at it, let's see. Salakia. See if I can load this. It's not letting me load. Well, I'll just get, individual pictures like this. But as you can see, here's the rapper performing. Okay, it seems that people are walking through a door. Okay, on his shirt, as you can see, they're blue and then they come out red with devil horns. Walking through a door. Okay. And Yahushua said he was a door. So when they come out with devil horns, as you see on this picture, all red, obviously they're what? Talking about, they're demonic or possessed. Okay, so there's a lot of imagery. Okay, it's been reported that it's a portal, and it does look like a portal. Okay, and what's interesting is the fire. Okay, we'll get to that later, but It says here, see ya on the other side. And remember, 8 people died. Okay, so, you know, let's read. What does it say here? Right before the panic broke out, the portal opened. Kylie posted this as a video. Okay, Kylie Jenner, which I guess is his wife or whatever. Okay, so before the panic broke out, the portal opened. Okay, so, you know, it might look like a mock portal, but it probably, you know, they really conjure demons at these concerts, at these festivals, especially when the artist himself is demonic. Okay, you know, his music. Now check this out. See you on the other side. See, all this is occult witchcraft. You know, skull represents death, right? They're walking in his mouth. Look at this picture. You know, check this out. You know, the people falling in a portal. Astroworld with the eye. A lot of eye imagery. Okay. You know, these people are luminaries. Okay. You know, so, you know, basically, you know, just like the Super Bowl, you know, when you watch the Super Bowl and other things like that, the halftime show, you know, it's full of a lot of occult symbolism, you know, a lot of satanic imagery, and no different than this. Okay. You know, if they said that it was demonic, then, you know, believe them. Okay. You can believe what these people are saying. You know, people went crazy, you know, before this so-called portal opened. You know, and this guy, you know, if you're up to date, you know, he was actually humming while they were taking people up out of the crowd. You know, so yeah, this dude knows something. Okay, and you know, this was staged. You know, you can well, obviously, you know, the imagery's all there. Okay. See you on the other side. What is, you know, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Well, it means something to them. Okay. You know, they basically, you know, invoke some spirits or whatever, and they were unleashed on the crowd. Okay. So this is what happens, man. This is what happens when you know, you're not vigilant. See, and we're in a time in history where it's the most demonic. You know, it's the most wickedest time, okay, on the earth, and it's getting worse. Okay, that's why we, okay, of the hopeful elect, you know, we have to, you know, strive, you know, to stay in the spirit, strive to, you know, stay more close to, you know, the brotherhood, you know, to one another, because anything outside is you know, far from the truth, you know, far from the parameters of what Yahweh Bashim Yashai has given us to live in. Okay, and you're susceptible to all different types of, you know, scenarios and situations that there could be pitfalls. So I'm going to start here. This is Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword of destruction. Right, so we have to arise and depart. Okay, not physically from America and go to Israel, but spiritually. You know, you have to take your mind up out of this place and understand that ultimately, you know, a new heavens and a new earth is coming. You know, what is here on earth, okay, is basically you know, it's polluted. Okay, nothing's pure anymore. Nothing has a good intention. Even the music, you know, the music is very much demonic. You know, it says, this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword of destruction. Right. And you know, it's like, and I always reference when I come across this scripture, when this scripture comes out, I always reference an empty lot. You know, an empty lot. You know, before they build something on an empty lot, you know, it's full of what? Tires and bottles and trash and couches and you know, it's just like a dumping ground. And well, that's what this world has become. You know, especially here in America. Okay, and the more you involve yourself in the world and worldly activities, you know, it could destroy you. You know, even with a sword of destruction. Okay. So that's what you see. You see people, living it up. All right, going out and into concerts and festivals and seeing these things, man. Especially with artists that are demonic, and they're all demonic. Now I was thinking about it, and I wanted to say when this whole thing came out on social media, I wanted to say, well, in my day they weren't doing that because Travis Scott, he's like a modern day rapper, right? He's in his 20s. I'm older than Travis Scott, but I'm in my mid 30s. But I wanted to say, well, in my day they weren't rapping like that, but they were. That I think about it. So our people, Jake has used Satan, okay, as an influence to gather people, okay, and Esau's, he's all for it, but you try to put out a gospel record, you try to put out conscious rap, and like, oh, that ain't gonna sell. So our people flock to the hardcore. The scriptures say that that their deeds have surpassed the wicked. Okay, so Israel, they go hard in wickedness. They can teach Esau a thing or two about wickedness, right? This is Ecclesiastes 12:4. And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And the daughters of music, has been brought low. Because back in the day, hey, even in my day, that's crazy now that we actually can say that in my day, because when I was growing up in the 90s, or even in the 2000s, you know what I'm saying? Music actually had bars, and they had instruments, but now everything is on a drum machine. There, nobody really uses live instruments, and everybody's remixing, man. Oh my goodness, man. Everybody remixing songs from the 90s to the 80s to even before that. These new generation. Okay. And to me, it's out of whack. It's not. You cannot. They don't sample like how artists in the 90s sampled. These samples is totally to a whole different topic, and they just took a little part of a good song and put it in their song and just butchered it. They should have just left it alone. But the daughters of music is being brought low. And one of the brothers did a video. There was this I think it was GMS Watchman. He did a video about hearing it from the horse's mouth, from E's mouth, that this Jew was saying that we use celebrities and entertainment to distract the minds of the people while they take over, the economy. And that's what they do. They give you all this bread and circus. They give you all these festivals. They give you the Super Bowl where they they have halftime shows and with fire and occult symbolism, and people just want to turn a blind eye and say that it's not demonic when it is demonic. Okay, everybody coming out with horns on their head, like, come on. Little Nas X, giving Satan a lap dance. What is that? If that's not demonic, then I don't know what is. You see, so where the daughters of music is being brought low. It says, "And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low," and that's of a truth. A lot of people are out of work, so they turn to entertainment to be distracted. So we have to be careful in these days, because whenever you see a fight or a show or whatever the case, man, they're doing things behind the scenes. Okay, that's why we have to remember that that we have to depart. This is not our rest. This world, the worldliness of this world will destroy you, right? And a lot of our people, they don't understand that. They can't see that Travis Scott and these celebrities are what they are. And that's what? They're witches. This is Exodus 22:18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. To practice witchcraft or sorcery, use witchcraft, sorceress. Okay, and this dude in his shirt with the people walking through the door and coming out, they're blue, and then they come out of the door having horns on their head. That's witchcraft, man. That means something. You know, see on the other side the portal, the fire, all these images, they mean something. Okay. Make no mistake about it. But you got a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, they're being sued." A concert goer is suing them, and they Travis Scott canceled 2 shows, and he's he volunteered to pay for some people's funerals, so they're good people, but no, they're witches. Okay, you have to have the spiritual eyes to understand that these jakes are witches. Okay. But people are scoffers and mockers because ultimately they want to continue, man. But you have to be careful in these times. You have to be careful, man. You really have to stick to this truth, to cleave onto this truth more than ever. Just like the Apostle Gabar says, all praise to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, and even more in these times, because it's true. In these times, man, it's highly demonic. Okay, the hate, the love of many is waxing cold. The society and everything, as a whole, is just becoming very dark. Very confusing. Temptation is at an all-time high. Okay. So I'm gonna get this. This is 1 Peter 4:2 that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High, and that's the truth. I've been thinking about that so much lately, like all these little temptations, all these little things, we're at the time where we don't have no time for even thinking about it, entertaining certain things. We really just got to live to the will of the Most High. There's because right now more than ever, Satan is looking to see whom he can sift. Now let's get this. This is for the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles. Right. At one point we were like the Gentiles. You were concert chasing. You were a groupie. You try to be like a rapper. You were on the fan club. You were worldly as hell. Trendy. A child of wrath. You had that eye for a nice spirit, or I'm going to get you back. Oh, they said that. Oh, I'm going to say that. Or they did that. Or I'm going to, that's how we were, But it says, when we walked in lasciviousness, lusts, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries. Now, this is something very important right here that I found in this wood revelries. I know brothers have did videos on this, but there's something interesting.
Strong's G 2970, Comos.
A revel, carousal, a nocturnal and riotous procession of half-drunken and frolicsome fellows who after supper parade through the streets with torches and music in honor of Bacchus or some other deity, and sing and play before houses of male and female friends, hence use generally of feasts and drinking parties that are protracted till late at night and indulge in revelry. Okay, and something that I found interesting, it says frolicsome fellows who after supper parade through the streets with torches. And what's funny is, look at this fire right here. You noticed it in the halftime show, Super Bowl, these concerts, there's always fire. You know what I mean? So this portal, what I'm saying? This is all for some deity. This is all for some worship of some deity. If it ain't Bacchus, it's something else, man. Because something was unleashed on that crowd. Okay. If you listen to the testimony of those that went, the concert goers, they'll tell you that they felt like they were in hell. They couldn't breathe. Everybody was rushing. Like, people just went crazy. Right? So we got to be careful, man. You know what I mean? got to be careful what we indulge ourselves in. Because ultimately, all this stuff is can taint your spirit. All this stuff can ultimately like knock you off your path. Okay, so we have to be careful. You see, very careful, man. Let's get this. 1 Peter 4:7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch into prayer. So we got to be sober, man. We got to be on point. Okay, and watch into prayer. So you're watching and you're praying that you may escape. Okay, that Yahweh Bashem Yashai has compassion on you in that day. Okay, because you did the work. That's what it's about. Staying away from the world. Because the world's going to look at you different. Right? Fourth verse, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. Okay? And that's what people are going to do. They're going to speak evil of you because you're not running to the same excess of riot. Let's get this word riot.
Strong's G 810. Asotia. Asotia.
An abandoned, dissolute life. Profligacy, prodigality. Okay? Yeah. Where you're just living it up, partying, eating, drinking, surfeiting. You know what I'm saying? At night, late at night. We got to be careful. You see what I'm saying? Because, you could go out and you can go out, but you ultimately got to be careful of your surroundings. You see? Especially when you're a lot of people who don't have the truth. Look at these people who are just holding up their phone, oblivious to the imagery, No one's saying you can't, have a nice time, go to a restaurant, go to an event, but hey, you really got to pick and choose. You got to be really careful where you frequent, you see, and much more now, stay amongst the body, forget outside influences, those that are without. Okay, because ultimately they're not going to have your back. Any kind of trouble arises, and you'll get ditched. They'll leave you in a jam. Let's get this. 1 Corinthians 7:31. It says, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. Right. So you use the world, don't abuse it. Okay, because this is not your rest. This place will destroy you. Here it is. Some people go to a concert, they didn't come out alive. And here it is. We're supposed to be in the middle of a pandemic. Ain't nobody wearing a mask. So it's enchantments. It's confusion. It's madness out there in the world. It really is. Okay. So especially with people that don't have the truth, they're susceptible to do anything. So, us that have been in the knowledge, we got to be very careful, man. Be circumspect, be sober, be diligent, vigilant. Okay, this is for the fashion of this world passeth away. Right, the fashion of this world passeth away. The parties, you're not missing out. The outings, it's hey man, I don't want to be a party pooper, but it's just not the same. It's not the same, man. You can't drink, you can't have fun, you can't do what you want to do in this life. Because you got to be careful who you're around, what's going on, you making a mistake. You got to be very, very on point. Some people might call you boring. Some people might say, oh, you're not fun. Oh, you're this, you're that. But hey, you ultimately, you got to watch your steps. Okay, because you can fall. The fashion of this world passeth away. In the kingdom, hey, we're going to live it up. It's going to be righteous. We're not going to go off. Man, I'll dare to say that you got people out there that say the kingdom is going to be boring. But it's not. It's not. It's going to be exactly what, it's going to be more than a good time. It's going to be more than a Travis Scott festival. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say where rest is allowed. So we're going to be chilling, feet up, And the Lord said He gonna drink wine with us. It's gonna be way different than this life, man. You know, this life is just is so demonic. You know, you have to fight. Okay. So I just wanted to bring this out. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Shalom.